Good evening.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 2.
Of the B-Roll podcast. I'm Jill.
And I'm R.J. It's the Monday after Nativity.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who has already listened to episode 1. And if you haven't, head on back there and listen to it. And this is what you can expect every week if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening to the podcast. We're just hanging out on our couch after our kids went to bed and hopefully stay asleep. And we're just hanging out and talking. Really simple.
Mm-hmm. So what are you reading or what have you read?
Still working on Miss Bourne. I'm almost done. And I'm determined to finish it. But I did also just finish, probably in record time, on Audible, the Kindred Curse series, which is 3 books starting with Spark of the Everflame. And I just finished the 3rd one. The 4th one has not released yet. And I'm eager. What about
There's
you?
another Audible charge on the bank account?
No, it doesn't come out. We don't know when the 4th one's coming out.
The 3rd one.
Oh, that one already happened.
Okay.
What about you?
Since we last spoke here in this forum, I read Red Rising, which was your suggestion, which is a sci-fi, probably more science fiction than fantasy.
Yeah.
I know you like high fantasy, but it built a little bit of a world, and I really enjoyed it.
Dystopian society.
Yeah, I like those kind of books.
It's so good. A very anti-hero.
Yeah, you're better at explaining books. I just say I liked it, or I don't like it.
Well, it is a very good book, and I cannot get him to read high fantasy, although I might get you to read Lord of the Rings with me.
I would read Lord of the Rings. This Red Rising book made me realize if there's a book and a movie, like a movie based off a book or whatever, I'll read the book. I think I might be done watching movies based off of books, because it was really nice building all of that in my head from the story from Red Rising, and then because it sounded like they're making a show or a movie about this.
I don't remember. I think it's a show. I thought HBO picked it up, but there is something coming. It's in the works. Someone got the rights to it.
We try not to watch TV anyway, so I probably won't be watching it. I'll just keep reading the books, of which there are 6. 6 books with a 7th coming.
So. My goal, actually, this would be a good thing, since it is right before New Year's. My book goal for 2026 would be to read more actual Orthodox books.
That's always a good goal.
But
I have a list I could suggest.
Well, I already have a list and a stack of them in the bedroom that I need to get through. But out of all of the books that I've read, you would read none of them this year except Red Rising. I maybe could get you into Miss Bourne, because Father really liked Miss Bourne. It is more high fantasy, but it's metalwork and allomancy. It's pretty cool. It's not fae and fairies, which I know you don't.
About that one, I maybe could like that one.
And the main male character is really great in that one. Again, kind of anti-hero in a way, because he used to be a thief. Kind of cool. But Red Rising, I knew I was going to get your dad on it, so we got it for him for Christmas.
He's like science fiction.
Yeah, your dad and I pretty much agree on most things whenever it comes to TV and books. And then I got a copy of it for Father, because I knew he told me that he really liked anti-heroes. So I thought maybe he'd like Red Rising. And then I was shocked when you said you were going to read it, but I'm glad you did and that you liked it.
You want to talk about our book date? Because that just made me think that we did our book date the Saturday before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we bought each other some books, and then the first thing I read was Red Rising, which we had on Kindle.
Yeah, we didn't even buy it
earlier in the year.
Yeah,
I haven't read any of the physical books that I got.
And I've listened to 3 whole books since we had that book date, and I have not. Well, to be fair, the books you got me were sequels. So I technically could start Morningstar, because I did read Golden Sun, but I could not start The Well of Ascension yet, because I haven't finished Miss Bourne yet.
Anyways, do you want to explain the book date? Did you?
Yeah,
I don't think we talked about this last time.
Excuse my coughing. The reason there was a break in between recording this because our family got super sick and I'm just now getting my voice back. Yeah, so our book date, we started it last year. Last year we did it at Target. This year, and it was very spontaneous. We were at Target getting gifts for the kids, and we were in the book aisle, and we just randomly decided to grab like 2 or 3 books for each other, and we did sneak around each other. It was cute, and it was fun. Like we were hiding the books from each other. Of books we thought the other one would like. Neither of us were super into reading by last year. So the only thing I really knew was that I've always liked historical fiction books, like especially romance ones. Like my all-time favorite was the Book of Lost Names. And I really love Kristen Hanna. But I didn't really know what you liked.
I don't know what I like either.
So we were just learning. And then I read 2 of the books that you got me from that book date last year. I didn't like the third one.
I think I read 1 book you got me. I don't think I read the other.
You got me 4 Winds by Kristen Hanna. That was really good. You got me.
That doesn't matter. Like I thought it was a cute idea of spontaneous you go to the bookstore, you buy 2 or 3 books, whatever you want to afford. Because books aren't cheap anymore.
No, they're not.
Very surprising going to Barnes & Noble. But instead of just ordering it on Amazon, go to your local bookstore. If you could find an independent near you that's open.
There's not a lot.
There's a decent amount of independent bookstores around us. They just weren't open when we had planned to go on our date.
Right. So, yeah.
But yeah, go buy 2 or 3 books you think your spouse will like to read and wrap them, give them to them for Christmas, and go to dinner, have a cup of coffee afterwards.
So, we made this a tradition, but this year we decided to go to Barnes & Noble, like an actual bookstore.
And we didn't sneak around each other.
And the reason we went to Barnes & Noble was because I was at Walmart, and I noticed that both Walmart and Target did not have the Throne of Glass series, and I really wanted Throne of Glass in physical form, although he refuses to buy me books. Well, not for that tradition. Like we said about on the bookshelves, like when I do get physical forms of Throne of Glass, it would be like a really nice edition that's like a custom edition from Etsy or something of it.
I'm not buying you a book you've already read on Kindle.
For the book date.
Or Audible.
Right. So we went to Barnes & Noble, and this time we weren't as great sneaking though. For some reason it felt harder. Like I had read so many books this year and knew what I wanted, but for some reason it was harder this year.
Well, it's because I don't know. You weren't into fantasy books last year, and I don't know anything about fantasy books. Like I would like to try to find you something that you hadn't thought of. Like these are the things I like, and then I find a book that's like adjacent to those things. Not like I've read 3 of the 5 books in this series. Just get me the 4th one. Like I kind of wanted to see what other thing, but I have no idea what's in fantasy books. And then I like nonfiction books, and that's all over the place. That's a very broad topic. It just depends on if it piques my interest whenever you hold it up. But then, yeah, that makes it really hard for sneaking around. Like you found one about like the CIA in the 1960s. Like, that sounds cool. I'll read that for me. And then I don't remember what the other ones were. And then we ended up buying a bunch of classic books, like their banned books table. So I got like a copy of 1984 and Animal Farm and Catcher in the Rye. Yeah. Stuff like that. So we ended up buying a couple of us books, but then, we didn't. It was a lot harder to sneak around. But we should have. Oh, sorry. We should have done like some pre-work. Like, let me write down the things that you like. Let me maybe look up what possible books I could buy you. And next year we want to sneak around better around each other. I don't know that we ever. Well, it was nice just getting the books immediately. Even though neither one of us have read any of them. Neither one of us read them. Yeah. I read 3 other books and you read Rise Rising. But we will read them though. Like. Yes, I think. I mean, like I said, I only read 1 from last year. They'll be part of my 2026 books. Do you have a book goal for 2026? I think I'm more not a number goal, but like a process goal, I guess. Like I want to read a fiction book, a non-fiction book that's not Orthodox related. so I can learn about something else. And then an Orthodox book, because if I read Orthodox books back to back to back, I don't. If my plan to read Orthodox books back to back, I get like halfway through the first one and then stop. So I wouldn't say I get bored. It's just they're harder to read. Fiction books, I think, help keep the habit because there's a narrative. You don't like, you're looking forward to the next chapter, that type of stuff. So I read through those faster. I feel like I want to read more whenever I'm reading those types of books. So I'm going to sprinkle those in, try to maybe keep that cadence and see how many I get. But I mean, it was a bit tough for me to read Red Rising on Kindle on my phone in a week while I was off work. So I can't imagine more than like one book or two books a month. I don't know how you read that much.
Audible.
Well, yeah. But I don't listen to podcasts. Like when I drive to work, it's a half-hour silence on the way there and a half-hour silence on the way back. And I'm not sacrificing that to listen to a book. Plus, we have so many physical books and even books on Kindle. Like, I want to read what we already have before I go buy Audible books.
Mine is 50, but I would like half of the books for me to read.
That's 4 a month.
I hit 45 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having a baby.
That's true. I lost some time off.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about that yet. I guess that's the next thing we could talk about.
Well, so I want half.
How much time you'll have to read books?
Right. So I'll have half the books. My goal is that half of them are Orthodox, or like good nonfiction books. I need to read more Orthodox. The first 6 months of 2026 are going to be intense because I'm going to be working my butt off to I'm trying to get everything done for the whole year in 6 months because baby comes in August. And I would like to take the last little bit of the year off, like still making content and recording the podcast, but like product creation is done. Mm-hmm. So that way I can just focus on baby and read.
That's better than streaming Landman.
Well, I'll probably still do that too.
Laid up.
I'll probably still stream my favorite shows, but there are quite a few of the next books, like Akatar 6 and the next one for Quicksilver. Like, there's a bunch of sequels and continued books. The series are continuing that are coming out in spring of 2026. And I would like to get them and start building my stack for postpartum, because with a newborn, I can actually sit and read a physical book. And I just have my little stack beside the bed. And yeah, when baby comes, I'll hit that goal. I'll probably be more Audible in the first half of the year, just because of all the product creation.
Yeah. You can tell it's our fourth baby. It's just like we're talking about books. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll have more time to read because I'll be having a baby, and then we just go back to talk about books. Like we would have had a whole podcast episode about our first pregnancy.
I mean, we could make a podcast episode about this pregnancy.
That's true.
It's been fun so far. So we're pregnant, and it has been good so far. We're almost into the second trimester. We're about a month away.
Yeah, you're like 8 weeks or something this week, I think.
Yeah. So we did announce just a tad early. We announced on Christmas that we were pregnant. The kids found out also on Christmas. But almost everyone else knew before Christmas. Like all of our family and very close friends knew before Christmas, because at about 4 or 5 weeks pregnant, like right after we'd found out. So I found out the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and well, technically so did you. When I found out, the first person I told was Ashley. I sent her a picture. She's our midwife. I sent her a picture of the test. And then I texted Father. I was like, we need your prayers, but I am going to try and keep this from my husband until Christmas. Why I thought I could do that, I don't know. I made it 2 hours because we're at church. And he helps with the kids. The kids take the offering plates down the aisle. And he was standing there with the kids with the plates, and I had been cramping and I was getting nervous. And I walked up to him and I was like, I have to tell you something. And he's like, what? I was like, I need to be able to talk to you somewhere else. And you're like, well, just what is it?
Well, it's like your face did not make it seem like it was something that could wait either.
Well, I was cramping, so I was nervous.
Yeah.
Now we know what the
cramping's
cramping's from now,
something wrong. But yeah, I'll just tell you later. Like, tell me now, woman. I'm not. Shut up and tell me.
So I was like, we're pregnant. And I saw his face, like,
I don't think it changed that much.
Well, you had a little bit of shock for a second.
Certainly wasn't what I was expecting to hear.
It's like, and I'm cramping. And then you walked down the aisle at the place. And you came back and you're like, okay, let me hug you first. And then you hugged me and you were like, I'm never going to forget how you told me. And then we went down to the fellowship hall after church, and our priest came down, and I looked at him and I was like, RJ knows. And he goes, that didn't take long. So that it was just us who knew, just you, Father, and the midwife who knew. But then about a week after, I think it was the Friday after Thanksgiving or something, I was basically in fetal position with really bad cramps and spotting, and we went down to the ER. And found out, so at that time, the baby's only like the size of a chia seed. And there was almost a 2-centimeter hematoma sitting right on top of the baby with an active bleed in it. And that was basically the cause of all my pain. And midwife and the ER doc put me on bed rest, like a form of it, at least, like postpartum bed rest.
I just told you to take it easy. That'd be the only way for it to heal.
And yeah, I had to treat my body like I had just given birth, basically.
And then everyone got sick, except for me.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting.
We all got violently sick with this respiratory infection.
It was cold. It was a bad cold, but it was just cold.
Bad.
And everyone got it.
Except you.
Except me.
Gemma and I had it the worst. Gemma had 103 fever for like 3 days.
I think I got it. It just... because everyone else was sick and needed taken care of. I think I just decided, like I told you, while I was all that was going on, like I get a symptom every half hour, 45 minutes, and I just go, nope. And then that's how I'm fighting this off.
Yeah. Because like,
if I went down, we would, I don't know what we would have done. We would have had to call somebody in to help.
Well, we did have friends drop off meals. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Our priest ended up having to cancel Vespers the one night because majority of our parish was sick and our priest was sick.
Yeah, everyone got sick after that Sunday.
It was rough.
Like that week.
Yeah.
Whatever week that was. It's all been a blur. Late November and basically all of December now.
It was a fasting season. That's all. It was Advent.
Yeah. That's
we always get sick during
our parish gets crushed during fasts.
Yeah.
With things, with illnesses and broken down cars and things of that nature. Things to test you. See if you get a break and go eat a cheeseburger or if you're going to persevere.
But about a month after all that happened, a month into this, the hematoma has now flipped to the bottom of my uterus and is down to, I'm guessing it's about 10 millimeters now. Like, it's under the baby.
10?
Well, it was at 12 at the last ultrasound, and with whatever thing's been happening, I would assume it's probably less than 10 now.
Okay.
It's healing. Baby's doing well. Baby has a heart rate of 121. Baby's doing well, thank God, and we're just praying that we continue to have a healthy pregnancy and that baby can be here in August.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Like every pregnancy, the baby seems to be fine and you're an absolute mess.
Yes.
So
that is how this usually happens.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping the rest of this pregnancy just goes smoothly.
It absolutely will not. Not if you have anything to do about it. Believe it or not, our pregnancy was not on the agenda for this podcast episode.
It was.
That's also how you could tell it's our fourth pregnancy. It's like, we told the people that need to know. Like, you made an Instagram post. Like, do we really need to at this point? Like, they're going to
Yeah, so like most
eventually we'll show up somewhere with 4 kids and someone will be like, hey, did you have a baby? And they're like, yes.
That's how it's felt like with announcing. I mean, most people like congratulate, but it's also the 4th baby. So they're just like, oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
But most our family and like our immediate family and close friends knew before the kids did, just because the hematoma being such a high risk, like
we didn't
needed
know
some support.
which end was up for a little while there. So,
but now the kids know. They found out on Christmas.
Yes.
Took Gemma a little bit to understand what an ultrasound was, but they are so excited. Every day they come up and they're like, can I hug your belly? And then today I had a chiropractor appointment.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And I was like, guys, I got to go to a doctor's appointment really quick. And Jim was like, is everything okay? Is it for the baby? And I was like, yeah, it's just a chiropractor. And she goes, are you coming home with the baby? And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long 7 months. No.
I think when you got home, Henry said, where's the baby? Or something like that.
Baby, I keep telling him, like, baby's not going to be here till the end of summer. Like, when my due date is, up here, we always have a farm show week. And it's like one of our family's favorite weeks of the year. Mine especially. It's
your favorite week of the year, and you're in this family.
It's Gemma's favorite week, too. You enjoy it. But baby is due at that time. And so it's going to be a gamble on if we make it. But I keep telling Gemma, that's my best way to describe the time. I'm like, do you know when we do farm show every year? And she's like, yeah, it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, that's when baby's coming.
So keep everybody posted on how that goes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we want to talk about that? Was kind of parenting wins since the last episode, I guess. Just
kids have been really supportive of the pregnancy.
Yeah, and they did good during Christmas.
They did.
They liked giving gifts, I think, most of the time more than receiving the gifts.
I mean,
and they didn't. Well, our kids are still young. They don't want video games, or like they were happy with simple toys, which was nice.
They wanted like nostalgic toys. Like Gemma really wanted that ballerina jewelry box and a doll.
Yeah,
it was so cute. And Henry just wanted a fire truck. Like this Josie, of course, doesn't know what she wants, but she's very happy with her Bluey toys. And those stepping stones have been a good gift.
She's like those. That was a bit of a surprise because I think we already had a set of those.
Well, we had
like where they are.
We had like these plastic frog things that weren't the same. These are cool stepping stones.
She was just waiting for the upgrade to use them. Yeah, I think that went really well. That always makes me very happy when they have like humble or adult reactions to gift giving. When they're not just little tiny consumers, that makes me happy.
And we made a bunch of Christmas cookies too and delivered them to the neighbors' houses. And Gemma was the one. Henry did Harold's house, but Gemma got out of the car and ran them up to the neighbor's house. But like I sat in the car and I let her do it by herself, and she'd go up and say Merry Christmas and give them the cookies. And she got in the car and she's like, I think that was more fun than getting gifts. That was cool.
That's awesome. All right. We can do questions from the community now. All right, questions from the community. So someone asked us, how did we meet?
Tinder. And in my vows, I called myself a Tinderella. But
it's still embarrassing. All these years later.
The cute part of the story was I can distinctly remember I was living at my grandma's at the time in that middle back bedroom. It's like laying on the bed, and I'm on Tinder, and this picture of this, like, how old were you at the time? 20, 22? I was 20. Oh, you were 24. I was 20.
Yes. You were still in college.
Yeah, because it's been 10 years. Oh, jeez. So I saw this picture of this 20-year-old guy standing
24.
In the 20s, but yeah, 24-year-old guy standing at the time, I don't know when the picture was taken. You were standing in front of the Penn State Lion. That's what that is, right? A lion?
Yes.
You were standing in front of
I don't know the picture you're talking about. So.
The Nittany Lion. And I swiped right, thought you were cute, and you were very flirtatious and immediately sent, hello, beautiful. And was like, hi. And you were like, how are you? And I was like, I'm doing well. And you were like, oh, someone who has proper grammar. That was the first compliment after beautiful was you complimented my grammar, which has gone downhill since.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. A simple swipe right on Tinder. Seriously, we were serious in about a week. Like we met, went on our first date.
Like, official, whatever that means now. Like a week later, yeah. We also did like 4 dates in a week.
Yeah, because you were off.
Yeah, I was off work for a week.
Spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And then on the 4th of July,
we spent a lot of time together now.
On the 4th of July.
You thought that was a lot of time? We spent a lot of time together now.
It's not enough time.
It's not enough time? Plenty of time.
I need you home all the time. On the 4th of July, we're on my friend's porch watching fireworks. He has arms around me and he's like, do you want to make this thing official? It was the best. And so 4th of July is our dating anniversary, which he hates.
Because I don't like fireworks. I don't like fireworks. I just don't care about fireworks. Like I've seen a firework, so I feel like I've seen all of them now. Doesn't matter.
It was cute. And here we are 10 years later.
Here we are. So would you let our kids use Tinder?
No.
When they're older? Me either. Actually found, this will be, here we'll add our little weekly dose of controversy. Saw this online. Tinder was created 3 years after Grindr. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't verify any of this information, just so you know. Introducing the gay lifestyle to normal men and women. In a way, technology has made us all gay, carefully pruning our public pictures and vapidly messaging idealized others to satiate fleeting desires, never to find love.
Where did you get this information?
A YouTube short. I took a screenshot of it. So.
I mean, that makes
I read that. I was like,
though.
That's crazy.
Tinder was.
It's just a product of the social media engineered society that we live in, which is, obviously oxymoronic to say on a podcast to my wife who does social media stuff for a living.
I think that there's
I can still stand on a high hill above you with negative opinions of social media, even though they help pay for food.
Oh, dang, it's social media, but thank you for the money. There are healthy sides of social media. I think social media can do good.
Well, this is Tinder specifically.
But yeah, no, I would not let our kids on Tinder, but it stems more from my beliefs around how we're going to approach dating with them when they get older, more than anything, honestly. At the ages of 15, 16, 17, 18, I'm going to have some rules for our kids. And I know, like, we've talked about this a few times, but I actually saw this reel the other day that was so good. I wanted to show it to you. RJ doesn't ever check his Instagram, so I send him a bunch of reels, and then our favorite thing, like once a week, is we lay in bed together and I just like show him everything I've sent him.
If you also would like to send me messages, I won't read at Dad Bob Sweatpants. It's my handle.
They won't read.
I won't read them. I have to get on Instagram on my laptop, which you probably didn't even know you could do. I have an app on my laptop for Instagram, and I will not read your message.
An app on your laptop?
Mm-hmm. They're all apps.
I just go in the browser.
It's like software apps. It's fine. Anyways. And I don't post anything anymore.
Well, I saw this really cool post. There was this dad, I think he has like 3 boys or something. And he said that when his kids get to dating age and they ask if they can ask a girl out, he's going to have a few questions for them first. And first is, can you pay for the date yourself? Are you financially responsible to pay for it? Can you drive her to the date? Do you understand what commitment actually means? Have you taken care of something for years? Have you shown that you're responsible? Can you provide her a home? Can you actually provide a future? Do you have plans for your future?
These are the questions he's asking like a 16-year-old kid.
Well, because his reason behind it is like at the ages of, 16, 17, 18, you should be starting to really develop your trade. You should be working with your hands and learning responsibility. And it's hard because you have hormones and puberty and everything that comes in, of course. But if we can eliminate as many temptations as possible, internet being one of the biggest temptations, the biggest thing would be responsibility. I am not driving my kid to a date and handing them $20 to pay for it. Like, that's not happening. If they want to go on a date, they need to be in the concept of, I can take care of this our son, right? Our daughter would be a little bit of a different mindset, but our son would be, can he take care of her? If he can take care of her and knows what that means to be able to even just provide, them going out and caring for her, he shows that responsibility, and he understands, because if you're dating just to date, you're just fooling around. You're just causing a lot of unnecessary hurt and pain. If you're dating because you're ready for commitment and you're ready for marriage, you're going to take it much more seriously. You're going to respect the people that you're with. You're going to actually try to learn about that person, and you're going to respect them because you're looking for your partner in life. Every single person that I dated before you, I regret. They're some of my biggest mistakes, and
good.
And I could have avoided so much pain in my life. I could have done so much more had I been more focused on other things in my life than all the boys that did not actually matter.
That's a good little side point at the end, actually. Yeah. No, I agree with 100% what you're saying. I have almost nothing to add to it, honestly.
Well, for daughters, it's different. For daughters, I think a lot of it comes from dad leading by example. They're going to see what it means to be taken care of. And for daughters, it's more of the perspective of being hurt. Instead of the question of can you provide, it's can you find a man who will provide for you, who will truly love you the way that Christ does the church, to the point where he holds your Christian values firm. Mm-hmm. To where he respects you and respects marriage.
Yeah, that should be, like you said, the ultimate goal. Anything short of that is just messing around.
And I know that that's going to be hard. Like I said, puberty and hormones just can do a number. But
yeah, you're shouting into the void.
But keep them busy. Like,
that's true.
Homesteading and schooling and extracurriculars and stuff. Like, keep them busy. There's no reason. Like, you should be starting to figure out what you want to do for your life. There's no reason to be fooling around and dating.
With boys, 50 burpees in a cold shower, and I'll knock it out of them too. I don't got to worry about that no more.
And with girls, helping them understand their cycle will help.
All right. Next question. All right. Someone asked, how do I avoid, we should probably mark down like screen names or something of who asked these questions. How do I avoid getting into a rut in the first few years of being Orthodox? Father John has actually talked about this.
Really?
But it's just like with the catechumen class it's going through now. Like you have a year, this is like a rule or anything, but what you'll typically experience is like a year or two of just you're running on passion, basically. Like everything's new. Everywhere you look, it's something new to focus on. It makes it easier to go to church, participate in the life. And then, you're just building new habits all over the place. Everything's fresh. But whenever you get to that 2 or 3 or 4 year mark, even, you sort of seen 98% of the things that you need to see to operate your daily Orthodox living. And the flashy new stuff isn't coming as frequently as it used to. And I think that's part of what creates a lull in how you're experiencing your Orthodox life day to day after that first few years. So
Sorry.
I think one thing that's helped me, because I've certainly experienced some of that, is find something you can do a deep dive on, whether that's, I would consult your spiritual father about this, but whether that's reading the saints, the lives of the saints, whether that's developing your daily prayer rule a bit more, whether that's serving in your parish more, or just asking your priest what they need, and how you can help. But I think the dip is a lot of you're building your surface of orthodoxy as you go through. And then once all of that's built, it's sort of like, well, okay, well, I can see all the landscape now. Where do I go from here? And I think the best thing to do is to recreate a purpose. And I think the easiest way to do that is to do a deep dive into something, pick a topic, whatever it is, whatever you think you enjoy most, or maybe it's whatever you enjoy least and you want to get better at. And just develop those muscles in one category for a little bit and see how that goes. And if that's not working, pick a different one, pick a different category, but start building some depth to your understanding now that you've sort of seen the world from an Orthodox perspective for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I would definitely say really practicing the practice of asceticism and living the life can help with it tremendously. Being involved in your parish, I mean, things just as you have a great team of people who rotates for cleaning the parish, like just being at the church and being present and active. I think one of the difficult things that I know I faced after a couple of years after our conversion was kind of like how you meet a new friend and you get really excited and you're like, oh, we clicked, everything was great, this friendship is just going to be wonderful. And after a while you realize that friendship, that other person has flaws. Not saying that orthodoxy has flaws, but every single person in orthodoxy is a sinful human being. There are things that happen. There are all parish council meetings that go a little crazy. Emotions happen. People have hard experiences in the church. Multiple Facebook groups that I'm in, every once in a while I get someone who just had this awful experience and they vent about it in a Facebook group. Or they'll comment why they left the church or something. Or you'll get the other side where you have a lot of criticism and you have things like orthobros and stuff that you kind of battle with and deal with too. Well, not battle with, but if you're in the Orthodox community, you know what I mean. And it's more like everything's new and fancy and shiny and stuff in the very beginning whenever you're converting. And then it's like, well, here's the human side. Here's the proof that we're all flawed and we're all trying to be better. And that can be hard to grasp in some ways because it's like, wait, this was so perfect. Why aren't you being orthodox? Like, why aren't you acting the way you're supposed to? And then it's like, why aren't I acting the way I'm supposed to? Why aren't I doing my prayers like I'm supposed to? Why is this person reacting this way? Why aren't they as passionate about tithing as we should be? Like, different generations of mindset. So you just start to see the human side of it. And that is where I feel like the rut can come in sometimes. And you have to reground yourself in the church. And remember that you, yourself included, and everyone else are flawed, and we're all on this journey to become better Orthodox Christians. And all of us make mistakes. And that's where I think the grace shines the most in Orthodoxy, is in the forgiving of that. And knowing that we have how many umpteen chances every single day to repent. So stay grounded in the church and in the faith itself, And know that every single thing in the world has its flaws, but that's where one of the strongest parts of your foundation in your faith will be the grace that you're able to grow towards other people.
Nice. I like it. Most problems are solved with a strong liturgical life.
Yes.
I'll say that.
I mean, monks have their issues too. Look at the story of Saint Euphrosyne. He was this chef, gave up everything and went to a monastery, and again was a chef in a monastery, and he was made fun of by the monks and was criticized because he wouldn't make the fancy meals he used to make. He was only making humble meals. And they criticized him, and they really didn't like him. Even the monks have issues. And then Saint Euphrosyne went on to, amazing story about the apples and him being in paradise and tending to the garden. And then he chose to leave because then everyone was like, wait, you're this holy person. You have this connection. And he humbly left because he did not want the fame. He didn't want to be recognized like that. Even monasteries have their issues.
All right, the next question. How did you navigate teaching your children the Orthodox way of things, especially pertaining to things that may seem wrong or strange from Protestant perspectives, like praying to the saints?
They were young. Gemma was so young.
Yeah, I don't really have so there was another question. What did you tell your children about why you were switching churches? I think those kind of they go hand in hand. Unfortunately, like you just said, we don't have much advice to give there on why, because Gemma was so very young, but she really enjoyed going to the Orthodox Church. She was very in tune with the iconography pretty immediately.
That's why we gave her Theodora as her patron saint. Sorry, no, that's Henry and Josie were baptized into the church, so they didn't really know. Yeah, they've known anything different.
No other way. But I think Gemma's transition from, because she would go to a non-denominational church with a daycare, to the Orthodox Church. She did very well, surprisingly well. I think when she was at the Orthodox Church.
I think it was harder on us. It's a harder transition on learning how to balance your kids in church.
Well, this is like a holistic perspective, I think, not just the actual nitty-gritty of being there for liturgy, but so we never really explained why we were switching churches. I would if you have young children that are old enough to be able to ask that question, I would definitely pray on what you're going to answer before they even ask it, and definitely talk to your priest at your new parish if you're working on converting or if you're inquiring. How do you handle kids asking questions? Introduce them to your priest. Make sure that they are comfortable in speaking with them, that they can take their questions directly to your priest.
Gemma does that.
Yeah, our oldest is extremely comfortable going and asking our priest questions.
And she asks in-depth questions, because the one time she saw Father preparing the Eucharist and he was waving the towel above it, and she wanted to know why he did that. I didn't hear the answer.
Or she asked why they closed the doors.
Yeah.
Like the curtains and everything like that. She's asked a lot of great questions.
Yeah.
But making, if you don't know the answer, it's also okay if you don't know the answer. And if your kids see that you don't know the answer, but you direct them to a person of authority that does, and you go and learn together.
Yeah.
I think that's helpful for everyone. But as far as, how do we balance Orthodox living with other perspectives, like this question mentioned the Protestant perspectives, and specifically like praying to saints. I don't think we haven't gotten to the point yet where we have to tell our kids, we do it this way, other people do it this other way, and explain to them why there are those differences. I mean, we've mentioned we do things one way and other people don't, even with our family.
We've had to about crossing themselves.
I haven't. So
I
what
have.
did you tell Gemma?
Gemma and I had conversations. It started in Sunday school because our priest children go to a Catholic school, like preschool. And at the Catholic school, they obviously cross themselves the Catholic way. And we had in Sunday school at church and at his house, like Matoshka and I have been really working on like training Jonathan to do it the Orthodox way. But with Gemma, one of the biggest things I've seen, so we are involved in 2 co-ops that are not Orthodox. We're the only Orthodox people in both of the co-ops. And in our one specifically, every Tuesday before CC starts, we pray. And so Gemma she will cross herself before we pray, but usually it's our director who leads us in prayer, and it's not an Orthodox prayer. My friend, I love her dearly. She's Protestant. So she prays how I used to pray, the Protestant, and I still pray that way. But I mean, it is different. And Jen will be like, why is no one else crossing themselves? I'm like, well, not everyone does. We're Orthodox, so we do. And that's kind of her level of understanding right now. She's 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Good question.
I think you can keep it simple when they're younger, and just other families do it different ways. This is how our family does it, and every family's different, and that's okay. As they get older and they start digging deeper, I think you can have deeper conversations with them about it.
I think she's to the age where we could tell her it's the sign of the cross. We use it for protecting ourselves and focusing ourselves. I think she might be getting to the age where we can actually work on that with her so she can do it in public and not feel, weird about it.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad. That's interesting. I didn't know that conversation happened.
Sorry I didn't tell you.
That's okay. Yeah. Found out about it right here on the B-Roll podcast.
Nice hoodie.
Thank you. You want to do our free ad read of the week?
I do. Speaking of the hoodie. So every week on the podcast, we're going to do a free ad for an Orthodox company. And that company won't even know about it till after we record the episode, usually. Unless they reach out to me in advance. But this week, our free ad is to Draw Near Designs. And they don't, at the time of this recording, they do not know that they are free ad of the week. I will message them tonight. But they've become dear friends of mine. I love them so much. I've supported them for quite a few years. They have amazing Orthodox resources, and they're phenomenal artists and creators. They make planners and calendars and children's resources and books and toys, and they sell all different things from all different creators and stuff too. And I've always loved them. But then in starting MBM Press, they kind of like took me under their wing. I reached out to them and I was like, listen, I'm going to start this homeschooling company. And every question I have had, from shipping to organizing my website to today it was stickers for the planner and stuff, they have answered every question I've ever had and then some. And they have, like, I kind of look at them kind of like mentors in a way. I want to meet them in person so bad. I have not met them yet, but I talk to them all of the time and I love them. So our free ad of the week, and that's why I mentioned this hoodie, because it's from Draw Near Designs. Free ad of the week is to Draw Near Designs. I love you guys.
Okay, last question. How did you navigate and or maintain relationships with friends and family who are not Orthodox? Yep, that's the whole question. So I don't know, along similar answer to Gemma with crossing herself and other people not. If we have people over here that aren't Orthodox, we try to do, if we have a dinner or something, we'll do an Orthodox prayer. let the kids do the prayers. Let them talk about it, like the kids, let them talk about it if they want to talk about it. We don't really push it on friends or family.
Kind of. I talk about it a lot. So I'm not trying to push it, but like two of my close friends in our one co-op, they know a lot about Orthodoxy because of me.
Well, that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You just stand firm in your faith, and you're gonna. If your goal is to go out in the world and make converts, and the best way you can do that is by leading by example. So just don't be afraid to live your faith in front of others, and I don't know. That's the biggest thing. If it doesn't, with friends and stuff, if it doesn't work out, with friends, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I mean, sometimes that stinks, but you'll find your opinions on a lot of secular things change too when you discover the Orthodox Church and begin that process. And that's probably where you'll run into more problems than just religious problems. Those ones are a little bit harder to explain too, I would think.
I will say we've aligned ourselves pretty well. Like our community, even if they're not all Orthodox, they're all pretty much like-minded in values, which is important with raising all of our kids together. I do have one friend in particular she's Baptist, and she will ask me hard questions, like hard theological questions that half the time I don't actually even know the answers to. And she has challenged me to become a better Orthodox Christian, a better apologetic for Orthodoxy, because I go to try to find those answers for her. She's never asking it out of like offense or anything. She's just like, she was taught one thing her entire life. And then like one of the biggest conversations we had was about the book of Acts and where Orthodoxy comes from in that book, basically. And so we've had some great conversations about it. And I actually think that her and her husband would do really well in Orthodoxy. Working on it. But, and so I will even say, I can't think of his name. Help me. The priest from California. Father Josiah. Yeah. So Father Josiah did this incredible interview where he said that when catechumens are coming into the church, he's like, they have a lot to learn, and choirs, they have a lot to learn through their catechesis and stuff. He's like, but we have a lot to learn from them. Their tithing is strong. Their knowledge of the Bible and comfort of reading the Bible every single day is so incredibly strong. And those are things that we need to be better at as Orthodox Christians. And so we have so much to learn from them too. And I take that to heart. Like I said, the two co-ops we're in, which are the primary part of mine and the kids' community, we're the only Orthodox Christians in it. But I have never felt more supported or loved. And they are all Christian moms from all different denominations. And we just work really well.
Yeah, I don't know if, personally, I don't talk about it a lot at work. I have icons in my office. I don't shy away from it. This is a little bit off topic. This is more just like living Orthodoxy out in public. But I still have times where someone will say something. Usually they curse or something, and I should have crossed myself. That's something I'm working on. But don't be afraid to live your faith. Don't put it in front of other people unnecessarily, but don't be afraid to live it, contrary to my previous example of not crossing myself. But it is not easy. You do have to be brave to do these types of things. But I think your point's really good too. Don't be afraid to learn from other people. Whatever it is, just because it's not Orthodox doesn't mean you can't see it. That's Orthodoxy isn't a set of facts that this is the only thing I'm focusing on. To me, it's a pair of glasses. It fixes how you see the world. Yeah. So you can still look at other things now you have your Orthodox glasses on. You can see through a different frame of reference what things are in the world now. Now, certainly you should still guard yourselves from certain things and do not indulge or overindulge in areas, but friendly conversations with friends or family, there's no reason to, you shouldn't be shutting those down just because they're not Orthodox or whatever. But yeah, I like that a lot. Don't be afraid to learn from other people. And I saw that clip too. That's a really good sentiment. That's sometimes even as converts, we forget to bring some of those things with us.
Right.
Like, don't discard the good things that were there.
That's exactly what he says.
Allow those to grow and reframe them if you need to. Reorient it. Everything when you join the Orthodox Church feels like it needs reoriented.
That's exactly what he says. He says, bring the good stuff, keep your good foundation, just grow in Orthodoxy with it.
Yeah, that's work. It's easy to say, don't be afraid to live it out, but work on living it out and have, if it's starting to have problems or other people are finding problems with it in your life, don't be afraid to have open and honest conversations with them about it. So,
any more questions?
That was the last one for tonight.
Good show. If
you have any questions you'd like to ask us for next week, do not send them to @DadBobSweatpants because I won't read them. So where should they send them?
I will put a question box in my stories on the Myrrh-Bearing Mother, and that's where you'll send them. I will be creating a separate Instagram just for the B-Roll podcast, so that is coming, where you can send your questions there instead. But for now, I've been promoting the podcast through the Myrrh-Bearing Mother. So I will have a question box over there in my stories, usually on Saturdays, where you can put all your questions for us to answer on the show. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you liked what you heard and you want to help us out in any way, please share, comment, subscribe, download the episode, all the things. Share it to your stories, send it to your friends, send it to your church Telegram chat like we have, and help us get the word out there. All we're doing is having conversations and promoting Orthodox companies for free. But we appreciate you guys being here, and we look forward to next week's episode.
Bye.
God bless.